Again.
How would you like it for someone to make $757 million on what you would do as a job, and you get absolutely not a penny? This is exactly what happens to student athletes that play college sports for the NCAA regulations. I believe that college athletes should be paid for their play off the field, not only because of their play, but also because of what the NCAA uses to market them with their merchandise and video game sales. The NCAA should pay for these athletes for their play, pay for their college, and hopefully give them more benefits after this. The NCAA makes money not on just their play, but also on their imaging. People that make money off their imaging use it not while they're usually playing, but sometimes after they're done and retired from the NCAA. A good example of this is Ed O'Brien. I'll get to him later. Even though some students may suffer from the payment of athletes, so those who do not go to college for to play sports or anything like that, so people might ask themselves, why did this affect me? I know there's people in this room that will not go to college and play sport. They might get academic scholarships or scholarships that maybe from SAT scores or ACT scores. Well, this will affect you because you would get less money for those. The NCAA would have to pay for the players, but colleges would also have to pay for part of it too. Just imagine, you're one of the best basketball players out there in the country, and your favorite coach from your favorite college comes up to you as a person, looks you in the eyes, and tells you that he wants you at his college right now. Wants you. Not for your academics, not for just your sports, but for you as an individual. He wants you to be the person that you can be and thrive at his college for his purpose. Are you telling me at that moment in certain time, when he hands you that paper and says, please sign with us, that you're not going to be just amazed and mesmerized by it and sign it? This has an effect on the parents too. They probably never thought their child would ever get this far. I know mine didn't. The Ed O'Brien case is the perfect example of this. He played in 1995 for the UCAA Bruins. If you look at your handout, this is the team that he played for. They ended up winning the national championship in 1995. This is when they first started making video games with EA Sports. Ed O'Brien filed a lawsuit in 2003, filing for unjust rights, saying that they used his image against him and their former players. Back then, they had the names on the jerseys. You click on the button and have all their stats and what they did in college. Now they changed that due to cases like Ed O'Brien's so that the athletes stay more out of it so that they don't get in trouble with the law. Ed O'Brien ended up winning the case. They've got a settlement of $40 million. But in the end, it's still not a lot, because they split it over 40 different people. Ed O'Brien was just the face of it, the one that started it all. And more these days, people, former student athletes, are trying to get the money, trying to get their rights back for what the NCAA has unjustly done. Mark Emmett from the NCAA.com says, the NCAA has a tsunami of cash. He also said, it was never about the players. It was always about the money. Now, he worked for NCAA and left because of what he thought that they were doing was wrong. And personally, I agree. What they're doing to these athletes is unjust. They're using their imaging, the talents that God has given them, against them. Not for what they've done, but what they did for the school, what they did for their program. The NCAA makes so much money off of this. And the only capital that they use it to put it towards is their local buildings and just a couple agents that they help to keep out of lawsuits. Now you might ask yourself, what can I do? To be honest, there's not much. the NCAA is perfect situation right now. There's nothing that we can do yet. As we get more advanced and more realistic of what the NCAA has done to our athletes and done to people, we can let go of their grip. They'll eventually let go of us. So I persuade you to help the fight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, if you could stay clear or stay up front for me. Yes, you may. Okay, and we'll go ahead and have Tanner answer some questions that you present whenever you're ready. Shh, quiet, please.
You think it would be a good course of action for the video games to start asking for permission from the athletes to use their face in the games?
Some have done that, but like Madden, they have the cover. You obviously all of you know, or most of you would know, that they have probably one of the better players that was one of the most influential of the year, and they'll actually have them sign the paper saying that they get a little bit of portion from the video game that sells, not a total percentage, but they compensate them for their imaging and their rights for that. And
would athletes get paid equally or based like in off of the
it depends. It depends on your college. If it'd probably be a smaller college, it'd probably be based off your play. But if you went to a bigger college, say Division I, if it was more relevant, then you probably would get paid more equally as a bench player or a role player than as a starter.
Wouldn't it be unfair for those who go to a big college for their academics and don't get paid?
What was that?
Wouldn't it be unfair for those who go to a big college for their academics and don't get paid?
It would be a little unfair. Athletes would probably receive more benefits from this, that probably with more attention from the colleges themselves. But also, people that go for academics alone also have more opportunities for scholarships, for GPA, ACT scores, teachers' recognitions and stuff like that.
Do athletes who already have a full ride scholarship get extra money on top of that?
Yeah, they'd actually get a little bit more like paid, like actual money than just their full ride.
Do you think if athletes got paid, they'd stay in college like all 4 years instead of doing like one and done?
It'd be more compelling for them to stay a lot longer. And the NCAA actually puts regulations on that, that you can't just play 1 year as a freshman and then just leave to basically market yourself, that you have to stay for a certain amount of time. Emily?
Why did you pick this topic?
I picked it probably because I watch a lot of sports and I see what's been going on with the video games and what athletes are kind of going through. And a lot of athletes, after they're done playing professionally, if they're not super successful, end up not being in the most financial best scenario. Grace?
Are you only talking about D1 colleges?
No, it would range from D1 to probably Division II, because Division III doesn't offer athletic scholarships. NAIA a little bit, but it also depends on what your sport is and where you're going to go. Obviously, if you go to a bigger school, the more money, the more attention that you'll be drawing to yourself than if you went to a summer school.
Okay, let's go ahead and give him a round of applause. Thank you.